Hello. Oh, I'm so excited that you're interested in learning a little bit more about coaching. As you know, I like to talk a lot, I like to write a lot, but I am going to try my best to keep this as short and sweet as I can. So if it feels like I'm, glossing over things or rushing through things, just know that I am more than happy to do like a Zoom one-on-one with you or, exchange voicemails, emails, whatever works best for you on anything in particular. Just trying to cover the most popular questions and things that people ask me about coaching. So I did prepare a presentation. So I'm going to pull that up and we will start there. Hopefully you can see my screen here. All right. And yeah, honestly, for the most part in posts and stuff, I don't talk a lot about the business side of coaching. So that's what this is all about. So we're going to cover tonight or today, what is coaching? What do you do? How do you earn money? What is the time commitment? And then, okay, what do I do if I say yes, right? First, I would like to just share more about my story. Oh my goodness, guys, I would never dream that this would be my reality. When I think about why I started coaching, it was initially, I was about a month and a half into my own journey, and I realized, let me make my screen a little bit bigger. So maybe I can't. Anyways, I realized pretty quickly within a month or two of starting my journey that I wanted and needed more accountability. Like that really was my main reason for saying yes to coaching, is because I knew that I could tell my motivation was starting to wane. And I knew that if I had a few friends or family members join me, that it would help me continue on in like taking care of myself and prioritizing workouts and doing my nutrition. Like I needed that accountability, which kind of surprises a lot of people, but it's true. And then very quickly it went from like, I realized, wow, this really does work. Like it helped me more than anything else has ever helped me stay on track with my own personal wellness journey. And at the time I was a CPA in international tax. And shortly after the accountability piece, I realized as well that it was something that I was needing for my own fulfillment and my own just positive outlet. Because let me go back to my screen so you don't just stare at that all the whole time. Because really, after I had my first Avery, I knew that I needed and wanted more. My CPA job wasn't nearly as fulfilling and exciting as it once was, and I don't know, life is just heavy, right? And it's a lot and it's busy and sometimes it feels lonely, right? All these things, especially once you become a mom and you work full time. I realized that coaching was what I needed for me. It became like my positive outlet. It helped me not only stay healthy, but also healthy mentally, because I was around all these positive people and they made me want to read, which I hate reading. It made me like listen to positive podcasts. It made me share my journey and share my life in a way that helped me actually think about it in a positive light, right? It made me want and seek for positivity. I didn't even realize that I needed it. I really, when I joined coaching, I wasn't planning on plugging into like the coaching community. I was going to do my own thing. I didn't think I would ever earn a trip. Like I didn't think any of these things would happen. And I didn't even think that I needed it, but oh my goodness. And it gave all of my pain purpose. Like if I could share about the hard and know that it maybe encouraged someone, then it was worth it. Right. And so both my past and my present, like whatever I went through, it now has had purpose. And being able to like use my time in a way that was helping people. Before I was coaching, I remember I would sit, I mean, I was busy, right? Especially during tax busy season, but still there's those times where like you need to like decompress and you need to relax. And like me and my husband's way of always doing that was just watching TV, usually reality TV shows, like just junk, right? Maybe it was funny. There were some of those shows too, but either way, like I remember always sitting, watching these TV shows being like, is this what life is? Like, is this how I'm spending my extra time? Just like watching TV. I would always end that like not feeling relaxed or fulfilled. It was just like, I would always kind of regret it. Like I wanted something more meaningful to do with my time. And so even when I worked full time, like I, it was exciting for me to know that I could do something positive and fulfilling with my time. So that really like, that's why I started originally personal accountability. And then it quickly became like, oh my gosh, this is like what I need for my own mental health and to be around these people and to know that any amount of time that I have, I can actually help people. And, that's fulfilling to me too. Um, and yes, along the way, I have gotten insane results that I never, ever, ever thought would be possible for me. And that is largely because I'm a coach. Like I never dreamed I would look like that picture on the right. And I do now. But I didn't when I started coaching, right? Uh, and I never imagined that, I've been doing this for 5 years now. And it was at the 2-year mark where I actually quit my job and decided to stay at home and do this full time once Charlie was born. And I never would have dreamed that would have been possible. There's so many things, especially now as a stay-at-home mom. Oh my gosh. Like I can't imagine being a stay-at-home mom without coaching because again, it gives me that like community and outlet and me time and purposeful. Again, any hard day, I feel like if I share about it, it's going to encourage someone else and make them feel not alone. Right. I mean, I can't say enough about, and it really like, there's nothing special about me. I just refuse to give up. And largely it was like when Avery was young, she was about 10 months when I started coaching. There was a part of me that like at that point wanted the option to stay at home. At that point, I was the breadwinner in the family, in international taxes CPA. I really didn't think that I didn't think I could actually coach to that level, but I thought it was worth a shot. And I can't say enough about just like being consistent and being persistent and following our trainings because they do work. I'm proof of that. When I started, I had 400 Facebook friends. I didn't have Instagram. I still don't have TikTok. I didn't even have Instagram my first like 2 years of coaching, right? Like I did a lot of things wrong and I still had success. And yeah, I really don't think it was nothing. It wasn't luck, right? And I'm not special. It's just work, right? This business works if you work it. Is something we often say. And I did hit something called 2-star diamond coach, which if you aren't in our world is not a big deal to you, but that effectively means that I have also helped other women who have joined my coaching team also have success in this business and hit, one of the highest levels of diamond. And so I love doing that now. It's one of my favorite things to help my girls who join my team have success with this business too. Now, if I can figure out how to make this go, there we go. So my team name is Team Redeemed, and I could go on and on about the God winks of how it got there. I will just say in short that when I started coaching, I was not just lost on my own wellness journey. I was also lost in my faith. I grew up in the church, but hitting adulthood, I kind of just walked away from it. And not only did our programs and our communities bring me back to physical wellness, it brought me back to digging into my relationship with God. And that's honestly why I call my team Redeemed, because that was my story, that I very much was lost. And then I was redeemed by, I really think it was part of our programs is nutrition, right? And I, for a long time, used food as filling voids. And the second you stop from doing that, it really makes you start to dig into, why you feel empty and why, you're reaching for food all the time. And I have seen now, 5 years in, numerous of the women who join me have that kind of redemption. Their stories are different, but it's truly amazing how God can use our communities and our programs and physical wellness to also help us get deeper spiritually and stronger spiritually as well. So the women on my team, all of us are very different in a lot of ways. I honestly think that is such a beautiful blessing because it makes our team stronger for it. And we all also have different goals. So I have women on my team that work full-time as partners in CPA firms or full-time in healthcare. And we're insanely busy during, 2020 and all the things. I also have stay-at-home moms. Like, we all have different lifestyles too. Some of the women on my team are working to make this, a full-time income. Some are just doing it as a hobby when they have time, and everywhere in between, right? But we all have the same calling. We all really feel called to do this, to share our stories and to help others on their journey, to encourage them, to fill them up, to point them in a way that really helps, right? And so that's another thing that I often like to say, that we are mission focused. Like, we are not focused on Beachbody numbers or ranks or pay. I mean, I could go on and on about all of that. But really, I started this team because, I needed the accountability and I felt like it was fulfilling. And now, like, we all just agree that we are here to we're all here for a reason, and we're here to help others. And we try to just keep that at the focus, because that makes you never want to stop, truly. And it makes it so rewarding as well. Okay, so what is coaching then? I kind of talked a little bit about it, but the first and most important thing is being committed to showing proof that the products work. And this is, again, why I joined, because I knew I needed the extra accountability. So yes, coaching absolutely delivers that. When we are not perfect, you are not expected to be perfect. Perfect is unrelatable, right? Like, we want you to share your real and your raw of your ups and your downs of your journeys. We all have them. But there is just a certain level of how sharing your journey and inviting other people along with you makes you show up for yourself. And I love that about coaching, how it really helps you take care of yourself too. And number two, then, is just sharing tips and encouragement and along the way. Again, don't have to be an expert. Beachbody has amazing resources. Lots of times we'll run groups together, so you don't have to do all the things all the time. But just sharing, everyone has different stories and different tips that work for them. And it's nice to have different perspectives from different people. 3 is hosting virtual accountability groups and helping people make progress. And like I said, sometimes we'll do these groups together as a team. Some coaches who join my team are just doing it more of a hobby, and so they just plug their people into my groups, and that's totally fine. Others really want to create their own communities, and they do that. So it's really whatever you want of it, whether you want to just plug your people into my groups or whether you want to build and grow your own. And you can change your mind at any time on that too. And then number 4 is inviting others to join you. And that really doesn't have to be scary. It really is just knowing that what we do could help someone, right? And making sure that they feel welcome, um, and that they know about it. So many people don't even know about it. Like I had no idea I didn't know what an accountability group was. When I signed up with my coach, I didn't even know that an accountability group was really a thing. All of a sudden I was like, whoa, I post a picture. Like I was so thrown off, but it's been the biggest blessing, right? So just informing people and letting them know that it's available and how helpful it's been for you. All right, what isn't coaching? It is not a pyramid scheme. I know I thought that. My husband thought that for even longer, but it's not. I mean, the compensation is quite straightforward, and it really is dependent on how hard you work and not dependent. It's not like at some point you can just coast and just get paychecks. Like it's a business, it's a job. When you work, you get paid. When you don't, you don't. Right. And that goes right into number two. It is not a get rich quick opportunity. It takes consistency. It takes time. It's like any new business. It takes time to build and be consistent, and then it grows in time. And then three, it's not annoying your friends and family. Oh my goodness. I was scared. We've all, been added to groups we weren't asked about. And we all, have gotten people who've messaged just a million times and we never even, heard from them. And let's just say that our team has been successful because we do it differently, because we really build relationships with people and we aim to help them. We're not here to sell, we're here to help. And that goes right into number four. It's not a saturated market. That was a big reason why I was afraid to start, because honestly, my upline coach went to high school with me, and we had like 100 people in our class. She was a couple years older than me, but I mean, of my 400 Facebook friends when I started, like she pretty much knew all of them too. And she had been doing it for 2 years already. She was very successful. And I was like, okay, so if anyone wanted to do this already in our market, they would have already joined her. That was my thought. And I have realized, first off, that our trainings really help you broaden your base to like find more people that are like you. That's honestly one of my favorite parts about this, is like I have met so many people through coaching that I otherwise would not have met. Not that they're coaches, but that they're my clients. And again, like I wouldn't have even connected with them. They wouldn't have joined me. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that too, is like, there was even like Sally, who's in that picture, like she was even friends with my upline coach back in high school, but she joined me years later because my story and the way I'm building my business connected with her. So just remember that too, that we all have different stories and we all have different gifts and we all have different struggles, and we all and the way that we are unique can connect to people that otherwise maybe wouldn't join, right? They probably wouldn't join another coach because they don't connect with that story. They don't connect with that, type of post or picture or whatever it is, right? So just know that you are unique, and by you sharing your unique story, you could reach people that otherwise wouldn't be reached. I've seen that in my own situation. All right, and then how do we earn money? And this is why it is, again, not a pyramid scheme. It is very much like, if you work and you'll get paid, and if you don't, you won't. The first one is the main one, especially as you get started, is commissions. And as you can, I used to work for Ernst & Young. I'm very financially focused. So this is my jam. So commissions is anything that when you sign up to be a coach, you get a website. It's like a store, right? A store website. And so anyone who buys through your store or your website, you get a percentage commission on it, right? So whether it be Beachbody On Demand or Energize or whatever it is, if anyone buys through you and your web page, then you get commissions on that. That's pretty straightforward. Number two is challenge pack bonuses. This is largely how we start people on their journey, because it's the best deal and they get support in all areas, fitness and nutrition, and they get a nutritional, and they get access to our groups and everything. So you get a higher bump. You get $50 per person effectively for just a challenge pack bonus. And then 3, 4, and 5 on this slide really just speak to, once you've been coaching for a while, it's amazing what happens. I saw it happen for myself. You coach for a while, you have people come into your groups, and what do you know, after a few months, they start transforming. They start feeling amazing. They start wanting to pass this on and tell their friends and family about it. Well, effectively, now they are coaching. And so number 3, 4, and 5 is just how you get compensated for when you help people, transform and have a great experience, and they start to then help other people, right? Because it is work, doing calls like this and mentoring, my coaches. I do that all the time, answering questions and helping them. So you get compensated on that as you build out a team of coaches. All right, and this was a big reason why I started rewards and trips. Like I said, am very financially focused. So even when me and my husband both worked full time and made pretty good money, I knew that we were both too stingy, too Dutch, whatever you want to call it, that no matter how much we made, we would never or rarely use that money on trips for ourselves, trips with friends, trips, with us two or our family or whatever. We would never go on these exotic vacations. However, I love to travel, especially in my previous job in international tax. I got to travel to Australia and Japan and all these amazing places. And so I had this travel bug that I love, but I knew we were never going to use the money on that. So when I heard that with Beachbody, if I worked this business consistently, that I could earn trips, I was done. That was one of the big reasons, especially early on in my business. Even though I was working full time and all the things, I really wanted to earn these trips, especially the one with my husband. As you can see, that was when we were on a Caribbean cruise. And I wanted to say in a little more detail that these kinds of trips, like the Success Club trip, really is possible. That's the one thing I love about Beachbody in specific is you don't have to have thousands and thousands of followers and have a ton of people joining you every month and have this huge booming business in order to earn these trips. Effectively, if you help 3 to 5 people, new people every month get started on their journey, you would get your room and everything paid for these trips once a year for you and a guest. So honestly, that shocked me. I only need to have 3, if you help 3 people on average every month, you'd get half of it paid for. And if you helped 5 people on average every month, you would get the whole room. Usually it's at an all-inclusive resort, so you get the whole resort and everything paid for. It was game on when I heard that. And what do you know, I've done that. I'm trying to think now. I've helped, I think it's 50 some months in a row. I've helped at least 3 people every month, and I'm at 3 or 30 or 40 months in a row that I've helped 5 new people every month. And again, this is in my early years when I only had Facebook and I only had a couple hundred friends. I was able to hit Success Club consistently while working full time. I was a mom, all the things. It's possible. It's totally possible. Does it take hard work? Yes. Does it take consistency? Yes, but it's doable. And a lot of other companies, that's not the case. How many places do you work that they reward you with a free trip for you and a guest once a year? It just doesn't happen, right? And so then there's other rewards and trips too. So number 2 is annual summit. So that is something that you don't have to necessarily earn, but you can earn a free ticket if you want. And I can help you do that. I've helped a number of my ladies do that. If you help 3 people for your first 3 months, it's the same requirement as for the Success Club trip, right? If you help 3 people every month for your first 3 months, you get that to get paid for as well. And the summit we haven't had for a couple of years because of COVID. So I'm really excited to actually be able to go back. This year is in St. Louis, Missouri in July. I'm getting a hotel room for the ladies in my team. And I'm just so excited. There's super trainer workouts and amazing inspiring speakers. We have Bob Heilig this year. I mean, I love it. I am so excited to finally be able to go back after the last couple of years when we had it. And then number 3 is our team-wide diamond retreat. We have a diamond retreat, a leaders retreat. We're part of a very successful larger team. And that is what that picture on the left is. That usually at least once a year, we rent out this ridiculous mansion, and all the leaders on our team, diamonds on our team, join up for like a week. It is so fun. Usually somewhere tropical like Florida. And yeah, as I mentioned, I've helped numerous ladies on my team hit diamond rank, so that's totally doable too. The last one, she and I hit it in 5 weeks. So if you're ready to work, we can make it happen quickly or build slow, whatever. It's really dependent on your goals and your drive. And number 4 and number 5 are Beachbody events. So new leader conference, leadership conference. There's so many opportunities to earn things, or even just join in. Like the annual summit is like an event for all coaches of all levels to just get together. So fun. Love our events. Okay, the main thing that I was concerned about when I started coaching, and I hear a lot, is like the time commitment, right? Like life is busy. Like I already don't feel like I have time. And that was definitely me. When I started, like before I even started my wellness journey, I didn't even feel like I had time to like eat right and work out, right? Like I was a busy mom. I was going to tax busy season. I'm like, I barely have time to like take care of myself. Well, then I joined for my own journey and I figured out how to do that. And so then I was like, okay, I just figured out within a month, I just figured out how to prioritize my workouts and my nutrition. Like, how am I going to really have the time to do coaching too? Well, I think we find that whatever you're passionate about and whatever you make time for, you will make time for, right? I will tell you, I always have laundry not folded and put away. Like I always have dishes in the sink. Like things just fall through the cracks that I don't care about because I love coaching. And another thing I wanted to say, so yeah, you make time for what you're passionate about and what you prioritize, right? And that goes for everything in life, right? That you can say you don't have time for your workouts. Well, if it's a big priority for you, you'll make the time. Same with coaching. I wanted to also touch on the fact that there really isn't ever a minimum requirement. As I said earlier, I have coaches on my team that that just do it as a hobby. Like maybe one fun boot camp comes along and they decide to post about it and invite people to it. And then they may not for a couple months because they're, dealing with a busy season or whatever. Like just know that whatever time you decide to put into it is your choice. Like there's never any pressure or requirements from me or Beachbody to hit any minimums, sales or minimum people. Like it's totally up to you. We're just here to help you if you want it, right? But you really control your investment of time. And like I said, a lot of times we run groups together. So it's like we share the workload. So you make of it what you want. One reason why I have this particular picture on here is like, this is Jessica Ralston, one of my good friends that I've met through coaching. And she is a phenom. She now has 7 kids. She only has 6 in this picture. Well, I should get an updated one. She now has 7 children. She homeschools them all. Her husband works all the time. And she is the epitome of like, if you're passionate about it, you make the time for it. She has been very successful in this business, and she does it because just like me, she feels like it helps her stay on her own journey, and it helps her stay positive and give her the hard parts of motherhood and stuff some purpose, right? Because you can help other people through it as well. And oh my gosh, there's so many stories like that, right? Of just people who seem like they shouldn't have the time, but they make the time for one reason or another, right? Whatever is fueling them. And honestly, I think that's a really powerful part of our team, is that, you're surrounded by those people that if you really want to make it a priority, you're constantly inspired by seeing other people making it happen, that it helps you really carve out that time, be disciplined with your time, and do it as well if that's what, you're called to do. And yeah, so as I said, there's really no minimums, but number one is honestly the truth. Like if you want to build a business, like if you want to build full-time income, if you want to build a growing business over time, then we do suggest that new coaches commit to about an hour a day, 5 days a week, or as it says, 5 hours a week. So just think on weekdays, some people do like a half hour during their lunch break, a half hour at night, like whatever you can break it up to. But that's really not that much. Like if you think about it, an hour a day, if you're really disciplined with your time, you'll probably find that you have that time. You're just, maybe scrolling social media or watching Netflix or other things, right? So it's just a decision at that point. And yeah, number 2 is being consistent with the right activities, being focused, being disciplined. And we have all the trainings and checklists that you need that will help you really understand what you need to do during that hour a day to get it done and have success. And really number 3 is huge. Number 3 is like committing to being here 12 months from now, building that trust. Like there's a lot of people that come and go in coaching, and the power is when you come and stay. When you come and stay, you have this trust that is unmatched, and that's where you really start to see the compounding and the growing of your business, because people want to join someone that's going to be around, right? That they can trust, that isn't going to leave them high and dry. So if you commit to being here, it's amazing how much growth you'll continue to see, both in your business and in your own skills and network. And yeah, number 4, also, coaches earning full-time income are working 20 to 25 hours a week. And that just goes to show the compounding and growing effect, if you're around for years, how that naturally happens. Again, I've seen it myself. Okay, and now common objections. I covered this one quite a bit already. I don't have time, and I won't cover it anymore. Number 2, I'm nervous what people will think. This also is totally normal. Oh my goodness. I was so nervous. One second. Oh, Avery just got home from school. I sent her out to her room. Hopefully, I'm telling you, I could talk about this forever. But anyway, sorry for the interruption. I paused just for a second. I'll go back. Nervous what people will think. Yes. Yeah. I was definitely me too. I also hear a lot of like, oh, I don't post very much on social media, so I don't think I could coach. That was me too. Like I was lucky if I posted, a couple professional pictures of my family or my daughter on her birthday. Like that was all I shared. So know that that's okay. We all start somewhere, whether you share regularly or not. But I think at some point for me, I was nervous a lot earlier on, and it's lessened in time, but I still think there's always a part of you that, I think it's human nature. It's human nature to want to be liked and all the things. But I think it all centers and comes back to like feeling called to do this. And if you feel called to do something, whether it's scary or not, like you have to do it because you've been called to do it, right? And the longer that you're in this and you're doing this, the more you realize the effect that you can have on people in such a positive way that like you realize you're doing it for those people. You're doing it for the people that you can actually help. You're doing it for the people that their whole entire lives could transform if they join you, if they hear your message, if you encourage them, right? And so it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it to put yourself out there and to be a little nervous, knowing that you can really help someone in such a deep and meaningful way. And just knowing that you're posting for those people, or you're sharing for those people that you can actually help and that will join you. And the more that you collect, so I've been doing this for 5 years, and I just have collected so many stories and so many transformations, and that fuels me. And so that's why I think it does get easier with time, because you realize like just how important it is that you continue to share so you can keep helping people. And what was the other one here? Yeah, posting on social media. That's kind of similar, the same, right? Uh-oh, I don't know if it's back. I don't know. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know if you're seeing me or I think you're probably just seeing me during that. Go back to this. And now we are back to not the right thing. This is why I like doing it live. Flip between all this stuff all the time. Here we go. Um, here we go. So another thing, my spouse is skeptical. Oh my goodness. I dealt with this as well. My husband still is skeptical about some things. And honestly, like when I initially, like part of the compensation is like, it's wise if you want to build a business to sign your husband up as well. And I was like, I knew he was like going to be super skeptical of it. So like I even signed him up without telling him, which isn't something I would necessarily suggest, but just saying, like, I definitely dealt with a skeptical spouse. But I think once they start seeing how it is helping you, how it is helping you stay accountable and on your wellness journey, and how it is helping you be positive and have like this outlet, and like I have no doubt once they start to see these positive changes in you, they will be supportive of that, right? That's what any good spouse does, right? You're supportive of things that really help your spouse. And the other thing I will just be super honest about is like a lot of men are very financially driven. And like my husband was very skeptical of most of it until he started seeing like checks come in the mail. And then like, what do you know? Then all of a sudden he was more on board. So that is honestly a thing that fueled me a lot early on too, is like proving it to him that this was good and it wasn't a pyramid scheme and I could make money doing it. Like that fueled me. So like part of it is like, I guess I should thank him for being skeptical because it did help me work harder to prove it to him. And fear of failure, oh my goodness, I'm a perfectionist. I'm type A, so I definitely had that as well. But I, again, went back to like, if I could just help even one person, like if my story and my, my transformation could help even one person not feel like I used to feel, then totally worth it. And not at my goal body yet. Number 6. Yeah, that's why I included that picture of all of us pregnant, because we were all coaches. We were all, that was at the gathering at our annual coach summit. And clearly none of us were at our goal body. I mean, I've coached through a whole pregnancy and postpartum, and just know that no matter what, no matter whether you're, pregnant or postpartum or have 5 pounds to lose, 5 pounds to gain, 50 pounds to lose, it does not matter. Like there will be people that are in your season of life or in your situation, or people who can just relate to the feelings of being underweight, overweight, not feeling good about yourself, feeling great about yourself. Like there are people who can relate to your feelings and your stories. And it's not about just what you see, right? It's more about what's fueling you, what's motivating you, and all those things, so yeah, it doesn't really matter if you're at your goal yet. And I will say too, like if you're not at your goal, it's almost better because people love to see that story. They love to see and hear your progress on your journey. They just don't want to see you come out and be perfect and done, right? They want to see the whole story unfold. Okay, why now? Because if you're like me, you are a procrastinator. And I always say I'm a professional. I'm a pro at procrastinating. So I always have to like remind myself, even to this day, like, what do I need to do today? And why does it have to be done now? And so like starting your coaching journey now, the first one honestly is what I really like to focus on, because knowing that there are people, friends and family, people in your circle, people that you could reach that are struggling right now and that, don't have a lot of hope that they'll find a solution for them, don't have a community that fills them up that they can plug into. Knowing you probably have people like that once you start, they might actually join and start to feel better. Like that is something that fuels me big time to start now, rather than the longer I wait, the longer they stay stuck, right? Two is, if you're not in our world, just know that Autumn Calabrese is like one of our most popular super trainers ever, especially in the nutrition field. And she just launched a program called 4-Week Gut Protocol. A lot of us are just finishing up our first round of it. So many transformations, so many people loving this program, loving the results, loving eating like this. So that anytime there's programs like that, it's a great time to join, because people are naturally interested and curious and wanting to try it and wanting to do it. And especially with nutrition, like being able to do it with others is huge. Number 3 on here is the most popular team boot camp of the year is launching next. I just posted about it. It is a custom hybrid boot camp that I create. A lot of times we'll do tank tops and all the things, and we're ending with a 5K on Memorial Day, either virtual or live. And like, this is just such a cool boot camp to be able to do something day by day with a group of ladies. It's inspiring, it's encouraging, it's for people of all levels, walkers, joggers, runners, all the things. And this is another relatively easy one to, have people join you, invite to share about as a coach. Perfect opportunity to launch your business. Number 4, oh my goodness, Fire and Flow is coming down the pot. So that's in May or June, depending. So we're launching a test group for this. We always launch test groups for our VIP access. So just know, again, like every time we launch boot camps and test groups, like it's a great time to join as a coach. It's a great time to launch your business, because especially people who love new programs and love to do things day by day with other people. This program is going to be amazing. So I've been able to do a few samples live with Elise and Jericho, and it's going to be a killer program that I have no idea if people are going to love and fall in love with. And so that's another great time to be able to launch as a coach and be able to share that you're hosting a test group. And again, these test groups, lots of times my whole team of coaches will come together, so it's not like you have to do it all on your own. Teamwork makes the dream work, I say a lot. And then number 5 is the extra stream of income. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll start to see that income, build that income. And yeah, so time is money, right? So starting now is better than waiting, pretty much in all things in life. All right, how to get started. If you're not already a coach, you can enroll as one. If you've already purchased a challenge pack in the past, usually you can get that fee waived. Or with any of our like new test groups or boot camps, it's easy to buy a package and then get your coach fee waived. And then I have a quick start training, just a step-by-step, like quick list of things to get started, and just taking action is what it's all about, right? And plug in, be coachable. I have a team message thread. I have a team page. I share everything that I'm doing. So like, as I launch this like hybrid boot camp, I'm sharing all the things that I'm doing on my side, and you then have all of that to work from as well if you want to launch it alongside of us. Same with the test group, same with everything I do. I'm always very open, and I have amazing coaches on my team that we all have different approaches, and they all work. Like it's just a matter of finding a style that works for you, and my team is very open about what they're doing, so it helps you as well. And oh my goodness, this picture always brings me back, because this is my very first live workout that I ever went to as a coach. And like, I can see it on my eyes and my face. Like, I was so nervous. I had no idea what I was getting into. Like, I was nervous to go to a Beachbody event. I was nervous to like be a coach. I don't even know if I told people at that point I was a coach. But oh my goodness, like, so it was scary. And a lot of it I was uncertain of. But the more that I just like stepped out and did it anyway, the more that I really like felt the blessings of stepping out of my comfort zone and realizing the potential and realizing the positivity and realizing the fulfillment and realizing the income potential and realizing like all of these things. Like, none of that would have happened if I didn't like do it anyways, right? It was worth a shot. That's what I always wanted to tell myself. It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. And it was. It absolutely was. And then this is really I want to end on, because not only do these are all women that have went through my programs, but more so, like, they have also been so incredibly consistent in their own wellness journeys for years, multiple years, because these women and many, many other on my team are also coaches on my team. They started as customers, they felt the transformations themselves, and they wanted to pass it on. It's a beautiful thing. None of these women, were in it for the money. None of them were in it for becoming an influencer on Instagram. They just genuinely felt better, and they genuinely wanted others to feel better too, and they wanted to help them. And like, knowing that, like, because I said yes to coaching, they also had such a positive experience and now are also coaches and helping, and they are helping people. Like, it is, again, the most fulfilling and best part of this job. Being able to really help others, and then seeing them feel so benefited that they want to pass along and help other people. Like, that's how I can't even, like, it's such a blessing. And because I'm very faithful, because obviously, like, again, nothing special about me. I really think a lot of it is God winks, timing, providence, all the things. I'm just really grateful for the role that I get to play in it, which is just encouraging women, sharing my life, and making sure that they feel welcome and loved, and just encouraging them to keep going, right? So many people need that. And that's all I have. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how long I've been chatting, but it was probably a long time, because that's just how I am. I told Avery 10 minutes and now it's been 20. Oh my goodness. That is me. So anyways, I hope this was helpful for you. Just know that I would just encourage you to pray about it, to consider the things that I mentioned. And if you have, again, any questions or concerns or anything you just want to chat about more in depth, just reach out. I'm always happy to chat more. But I really feel like in my heart that if this is something that you're being called to and you can't shake it, and anything that I said like resonated with you as something that you need or you feel called to do or that you want to do, worth a shot. Worth a shot. I been such a blessing, and it would be such an honor for me to have you on my team and to be able to do this alongside you and just grow and help others. It's the best. So look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again for your time.